I guess the misconception is these people are troublemaker, these people are lazy.
Okay, swap jobs with anyone for one day. What and who will it be?
Paid tester.
Wait. Welcome to Walking the Ground, a podcast series where we share and talk about issues, but more importantly, stories related to the labour movement. Today, we have Andy on our show. Andy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Andy Ang. I'm the ES of NDCA for short, so it means Executive Secretary of National Delivery Champions Association.
Okay, thanks Andy. What does the National Delivery Champion Association do?
The NDCA was set up as a platform work association to advocate for the rights of our platform workers, in particular our food delivery riders as well as our parcel delivery riders.
Right. So there's actually a term for this called platform workers.
Yes,
Okay.
platform workers.
Okay, got it. So you mentioned about platform work, and I think it's a term that has been around probably in the last couple of years. And as someone who has been in the industry for some time, right, what would you say is a misunderstood thing about platform work?
Well, this term platform work is fairly new, at least in Singapore. In Singapore, at least when we look at Platform Work and Platform Workers Act, it refers to a very targeted group of people.
Okay.
A few groups of people actually. So one group is the taxi drivers who actually use the app to get your passengers.
Okay.
Private hire group who use private hire cars to get the passengers.
Okay.
There are delivery riders who deliver food, when they go for Grab, Foodpanda and all that. And then also parcel delivery when they deliver parcels, letters, things that you buy online. But in particular with for example, companies like Google X, Lalamove and Parcel. So these are platform work.
Okay.
In the broader term, there are the group of workers who people generally call gig workers.
Okay.
And that will be a broader term.
A
But in
freelance.
Singapore, yeah.
Okay,
But in Singapore,
okay.
when you look at platform work, then we are looking at typically these three groups of workers.
Okay. Can.
What is the most misunderstood
Misunderstood, yeah.
things about them?
Yeah.
I would think that people tend to think that platform workers can be quite a nuisance sometimes. They don't follow the rules. They zoom here and there. That is one of the misconceptions that they have. The other one is that these platform workers, they don't want to land themselves a proper job, so they want to do this job and then they sit around waiting for the jobs to come.
Right.
To me, it's quite misunderstood because the one for sure, nobody want to put their life in danger and zoom here and there without proper reasons. Secondly, also there are many reasons why these group of workers land themselves in, or rather choose to have this job because of the flexible hours. It's not really for the lack of trying, or it's a lot of times because of multiple reasons that end up having them to choose this job.
Okay. So sometimes people think that it's flexible, but actually it's not as if they had a choice, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's also getting less and less flexible per se. I mean, you may not know, I'm not sure, but riders actually nowadays do have to book their shift, for example.
Oh.
So
okay.
they book their shift in order to get more incentive.
Book their shift.
Yes. So in a sense, actually, if I book the shift between say 12 to 4 p.m., then actually I need to be there at the area to do my delivery job at 12 to 4.
Oh.
So technically, it's quite like part-time job or even like full-time employees.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really that flexible. Like I really can sleep and wake up anytime I want, right?
Yeah, of course you can. But what happens if they're not there at the time slot where they booked?
They get penalized.
Right.
Different companies deal with it differently, but
Okay.
some of them they get penalized. They might not be able to book again. They lose their shift incentive and things like that.
I see. Okay. I mean, you have been in this for some time, right? And you have had many conversations with platform workers, I assume. Is there a particular conversation that stood out for you that really made you think that, wow, it's really tough for these guys and we got to do something?
I've met recently with somebody who was born with physical disability. So it's quite bad because I think since birth she was not able to walk.
Okay.
She doesn't have fully developed pair of legs.
Okay.
It's quite difficult for her.
Okay.
Growing up, and she wasn't able to land proper jobs.
Okay.
And because of that, she took up the delivery job. She has a person with disability pass, so she was able to get a proper electronic wheelchair.
Right.
And because of that, so she's been going around on the wheelchair and delivering jobs. And I think it was difficult for her because she has shared with me that there was sometimes with some road structures are not the best for them. Whether there is bumps or there's uphill. It's quite difficult for her wheelchair to get to the destination. Or sometimes customers clients will rush them and ask them, where is my food? It's very difficult for her. But at the same time, I think it struck me that this lady is able to, beyond all the difficulties, is able to find herself the dignified job that she can call it's a job and she can do.
Got it.
I thought that was very inspiring.
The person with disability, she's been doing this job for some time? Or?
Yes, quite a few years. Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's really sad to hear. But at the same time, like what you said, at least this person found something to keep the lights on, right? I mean, would you say that this is a rare case? Because in general,
I don't think that this is quite a rare case. I've across my span of the last 2-3 years in this portfolio, I've met quite a diverse group of people. There are people who was retrenched, for example, and then as a stopgap, they decided I will do this job for the next 6 months before I land on another job.
Right.
There are also, like I said, people with caregiving needs and decided that this is the best job for me because I only have that few hours during the day or during the night to do so. There are people who are born with special different disability that in the end they could only learn on this job, whether it's because of mobility issues or they couldn't speak or they couldn't hear.
Right.
And I think that's the interesting thing about the platform work. While there are a lot of things that we need to iron out, that is a fairly new, novel space. There's a lot of workplace issues that we need to iron out. It is also one space that gives a very unique space for such workers.
At least there's some form of livelihood for them, right, to be able to achieve.
And yeah. So we go back to your previous question about whether there's a misconception. I guess the misconception is these people are troublemaker, these people are lazy, but actually the vast majority of who I met, they are not troublemakers and they're not lazy for sure.
I mean, you have done a lot of work, you have spoken to a lot of people. Is there anything upcoming or like anything that you are personally looking forward to for these platform workers? Because I'm sure that you guys have a lot of things that you have done, but what is coming next?
We have been doing a lot of work, whether it's on the ground, whether it's engaging with members, engaging with platform operators, whether it's engaging with government agencies. I will tell you that the work is still ongoing. There won't be anything that is revolutionary that is coming out that is going to change the industry. It is very hard, long, quiet work that we are constantly doing. Some of the things that we are looking forward things like platform workers appreciation days. We are working with different constituency to have platform workers appreciation day. Where, we look at North, South, East, West or central part of Singapore, where actually we invite platform workers who live nearby. Come and then they can have ice cream, they can have teh tarik, some games and some fairs, and then we can also help by doing some health checks and these kind of things to engage them, appreciate their hard work. And then we're also looking at Platform Workers Appreciation Day at Gardens by the Bay. It's coming up, I think, sometime in, if I'm not wrong, the second or third quarter of this year. And beyond that, we have constantly been engaging with the platform operators, getting the feedback from our members, some of the grievances, some of the grouses that they may have in terms of how the app work, whether it's algorithm or whether it's a setup or whether it's the interface.
Yeah, I'm sure that there must be tons of questions or things that you have to deal with. What about, I mean, we all know that there's wars happening, right? Is there like, and as a result, the cost of living or the petrol cost has gone up. So have you guys done anything on that?
We have. If you look at our socials, which I hope our members and all of us will follow and platform workers will follow.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. We have been reaching out to all our platform operators to try and do different things. For example, it can be petrol subsidies, it can be having some form of increase in I can't remember the word, levy or subsidies because of the petrol. So I hope that viewers, when you see this, if your order increased by 50 cents or $1, please don't be so angry, because it goes to the riders.
Yeah, I think that's the part, right?
Yes.
Because okay, in general, I think the cost of what we are going to experience is all going to go up. But I find that even amongst my circle of friends, I think a lot of the unhappiness tends to go towards the riders, which I feel is not really that justified, right? Or the delivery people,
Yeah. So, I mean, they brave through the weather, right? Whether it's very hot day or whether it's under the heavy rain, to bring the food and the items to your place, or sending you from one location to another, for not a very high cost per se.
Right.
And with the cost of living going up, it's really straining, because all of us will start to cut back on our expenses.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
I decided, okay, I'm not going to spend $10, I'm going to walk down. And just because of that, they also have less orders.
Do you happen to know if that's already the case, or don't know it?
I mean, from what I hear from the platform operators, it has gotten a bit slower.
Okay.
Orders have gotten a bit slower.
Okay.
Naturally, because everybody wants to tighten up
Yeah,
pockets. From the riders as well, I think to them, they also have been giving us feedback that their income has taken a hit as well.
For sure. So I guess your day, none of the days are actually the same, because every day is different, right? One day you meet someone who is talking about or sharing feedback on a different thing, then the other day you have to talk to the operator, so on and so forth.
So my day is not quite the same. I try to at least have some frame. Today I have these meetings and that meetings, and then other days I meet the riders, I meet the operators. But you're right. Some days I meet the grateful, happy platform workers.
Yeah.
Some days I meet angry platform workers.
Right.
Some days I meet angry operators. The interesting thing about my job is that no one day is quite the same. There are good days. It's not always about argument and fights. There are good days where we look at how do we, as an industry, let's work together in a tripartite way with the government, with the platform operators, the businesses, to uplift the standards of the industry. We organize training together. We organize safety talks together. We have appreciation together. In fact, this afternoon I just had an appreciation Hari Raya lunch with one of the platform operators and all the platform workers.
Right.
So it's not always the angry side of the house. There are also fun side of the house where we engage different platform workers, find out what they're doing.
Yeah, but the work is never ending, right?
Yes.
There's never.
I mean, one of my mentor again told me if the work has ended, then you are out of job.
Yeah. Who is his mentor? We want to get him on the. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Actually, I have a lot more questions, but we can probably end with the last one. If you could swap jobs with one person for a day.
Person.
Yeah. Okay, swap jobs with anyone for one day. What and who will it be?
So I don't know.
Safe space, this one.
Safe space.
It'll just be broadcasted on socials and everything.
So at the quick thinking, I thought, I saw those long ago. I think I saw some of these adverts on social, like bed tester.
Wait.
So if I can be the one testing the bed, I can tamping and
rest. Bed tester.
Yeah, I can test the bed.
I thought you meant the BAIT.
No, bed. BED. So
BED.
test
Okay.
then I can sleep properly and test beds.
Bed testers, but for one
so I
day.
don't know that one person, but that's one job that I thought is interesting.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in, and thanks Andy for being such an interesting guest. Well, that's all. See you guys.